Gonna show our pride at Old Town McVay. Gonna embrace hard work each and every day. Gonna show our pride at Old Town McVay. Gonna embrace hard work each and every day.
Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to your morning announcements. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, the year 2020. Today's weather calls for partly cloudy, high of 57, low of 34, with just a 10% chance of rain. Expect some winds, though, still to be up there, 13 miles per hour today coming out of the west, so it's going to be a little breezy out there, a little chilly. All right, no birthdays to celebrate today, so we'll move on to our joke of the day. I really like this one. All right, boys and girls, what building in New York City has the most stories? What building in New York City has the most stories? You're probably thinking something along the lines of like the Empire State Building, right? No, the most stories can be found in the public library. So which building in New York has the most stories? The library, of course. Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. All right. Moving on to this day in history. Actually, to be honest with you, I really struggled to find something good for today in history. So what I did is I actually was curious and I looked up some information about the history of Westerville. Pretty fascinating stuff, to be honest. So if you want to check something like that out, there's some pretty cool things on there. You kind of learn how Westerville got the name Westerville and so forth. But what I found that I thought I'd share with you today was that in 1847, University of Otterbein, now known as Otterbein College, was established in Westerville. So in 1847, the Otterbein University was established here in Westerville. The college would become the first institution of higher learning to allow women, without any restriction, the first to include women among its faculty, one of the first to admit students of color, and its president was also deeply involved in the Underground Railroad efforts of Westerville, and many of these monumental homes still stand today. So that's some pretty cool history in Westerville, that we are home to one of the first universities, the first places of higher learning that openly and equally accepted women as students, had women as faculty members, and also was one of the first ones to accept any person of any race, any color, any of that. So pretty cool history for Otterbein University. Very proud of the work that they did in the past and the example that they continue to be in the higher levels of academia across our country. So awesome. Very cool that we have that here in our community. So I encourage you to check out more history on Westerville and more history on Otterbein, the Otterbein College as well. All right, today's principal's message. I'm going to try to get through this one as best I can without getting too emotional. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my grandma today. So bear with me as I get through that. I'll do the best I can. But today's message is focused on effort. And so here's the story. I want to let you guys know, first of all, that school was hard for me. Okay, it was really hard. I struggled to read. Math was incredibly hard for me. Quite honestly, I had people around me that didn't even think I'd graduate from school. When I did graduate, though, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. But school had been so hard for me that nobody thought I could do it, including myself, to be honest. The only person that really believed in me was my grandma Annabelle. So what happened to me is after school, I started doing some other jobs and stuff, and then my grandma ended up with cancer. So as she was fighting for her life against cancer, she taught me that life isn't about what you get, it's about what you earn. You don't earn anything without effort. My grandma made me promise to go back to school and give my best effort to chase my dreams. When she passed later that summer, I made a commitment to her and to myself that I would go back to school and that I would give my best effort. I committed that every day I would stand apart through my effort as a way of demonstrating my love and appreciation for my grandma and the lessons that she had taught me. Man, it was hard. Boy, did I struggle. I never gave up, though. and every day I gave my greatest effort. In the end, I graduated as one of the highest achieving students in my class. I showed the world, and more importantly, I showed myself that my grandma was right. There's nothing in this world that can't be accomplished if we give our commitment, our dedication, and most importantly, our effort. I try to honor my Grandma Annabelle every day by giving my greatest effort. How about you? All right, boys and girls, I created another extra credit challenge that ties very closely to this. I want you to write a letter, create a video, heck, even just have a conversation with someone in your life that you admire and that has encouraged you to be better, to give your best effort. Tell them what lessons you've learned from them. Tell them how you are a better person today because of the influence they've had in your life. I encourage you to do that. If you want to go ahead and post that on our hashtag McVay Extra Credit, we'd certainly be happy to share that with others. But most importantly, this is for you, boys and girls. I want you to take that time. Be self-reflective. Think about that stuff. If you're a kindergartner and a first grader, I don't expect you to write a story or anything, but have that conversation. Maybe draw a picture of something of you being able to accomplish something and have that conversation with somebody you know and love and talk about the ways they've taught you to be a better person. All right, I know you can all do it. I'm proud of each and every one of you for the young men and women that you are and that you're becoming. And I know that as we continue to work hard, to embrace that hard work, to show our pioneer pride, we're going to accomplish all the dreams that we ever had. All right, boys and girls, very proud of you. Now, no special announcements specific for today outside of one change that did just come through. I talked to you a little bit yesterday about how we're going to have the pickup time next week, and we're getting more information together to get out to our families about that. We also just found out today that we will be able to have our students bring back their library books. So if you happen to have some library books at home from our McVay library and you want to return those to us during that time next week, please do so. We'll, again, have more information about how we want to get that accomplished out to your families as soon as possible, but just wanted to let you know that we will collect library books. Now, with that said, please know we are not collecting Chromebooks next week. You're going to have to keep a hold of your Chromebooks for a little while longer, figure out what the district wants to do, how we're going to collect those. That's coming down the line. So for next week, you're coming here to get your materials. And if you have library books that you would like to turn in, that would be a time that you can do that. Okay, that's the only announcements I have for today. So at this time, let's go ahead and move over to our shout outs and kudos. All right, so for our shout outs today, we're going to start with Miss Livingston. She knocked out a few of them here this morning. She's got Eddie S. getting a shout out for passing Alexia level. Way to go, Eddie. Sammy J, you got one for getting 90% on your extra math. Way to go, Sammy. Lex, even you stepped up. Awesome, buddy. So proud of you. You got a shout out for being a good sport with Mrs. Livingston and Mrs. E. I'm proud of you, bud. Get that work done. Keep working hard, buddy. I'm rooting for you, man. Sincere, you also got a shout out from Miss Livingston for working through challenges in math. You did a great job. Again, that's what it's all about, right? You put that effort in. You got through it, and you got a shout out for it. Great job, Sincere. All right, Mr. McIntyre took some time to give some shout outs to these students for doing a great job on their music activities. That would be Aish, Clark, Erica, Adriana, Zariah, and Tione. Way to go. Also, Mr. McIntyre wanted to point out that Carly and June were doing great work on their music activities as well, and he encouraged you guys to keep making music. Mrs. Bechtel took the time to give a shout out to Shep today, so way to go, Shep. You got a shout out for completing Alexia level. These kiddos from Mrs. Wagner's first grade class got shout outs. Mia, you got one for always staying on the chats longer to practice sight words and read with Mrs. Wagner. Great job. Solomon, Maya, Ellie, and Lainey, you got shout outs for passing Lexia levels. And Claire, Emmanuel, Graham, Lainey, Lawson, Liam, Noah, and Nora. all got shout outs for reading a lot of books on Epic last week. Way to go. Tyson and Laney, you also for Mrs. Wagner's class got shout outs for completing all of your work each day and always sending Mrs. Wagner pictures of your work. Way to go, kiddos. Proud of you. Great job. Awesome way to get shout outs there with all this amazing effort. I'm really proud. All right, Mrs. Backowitz took some time. She wanted to point out that Olivia, Kylie, Caden, Andy, Carson, Odessa, Violet, Simon, Caroline, Haveen, Mason, Maven, Khalil, and Jack all were second grade superstars for completing all of their work last week. Great job. And then Zaylin and Maven, you got shout outs again for passing Lexia levels. So way to go to you guys too. Harrison, Samaya, Tala, Riley, Kinsey, Ava, Enza, Carter, and Ava, all from Miss Walker's class, got shout outs for always completing their lessons in a timely manner. So great job to you boys and girls. We've got Violet, Rashawn, Hannah, Max, and Lalisa in Mrs. Daypose's class passing Lexia levels. Violet, Kaylin, Mackenzie, Rashawn, Hannah, Max, Owen, Jacob, Lalisa, Ben, Addie, Ariana, Naomi, and Annalise. You got shout outs from Mrs. Daypose for meeting your Lexia goals last week. Violet, Randy, Kaylin, Caden, Mackenzie, Hannah, Zahara, Owen, Jacob, Ben, Ariana, and Annalise. You met your dream book schools last week and got shout outs for that as well. Randy, Mackenzie, Rashawn, Zahara, Owen, Jacob, Saran, Aisha, and Ariana, you all passed the level on reading A to Z. And again, got shout outs from Mrs. Daypose. Got a few more here to go through with Mrs. Daypose. I've got Randy, Riley, Mackenzie, Hannah, Zoe, Zahara, Owen, Jacob, Saran, Ben, Addie, Ariana, Naomi, and Rashawn meeting reading A to Z goals last week. Lincoln, Mackenzie, and Jacob read books on Epic last week. And the entire class gets a shout out for attending a Google Meet class last week with Mrs. Daypose. That is amazing. I'm just going to jump right to a kudos too, because I know we got a kudos too to give out. And this kudos goes to Mrs. Daypose from Mr. Swain and Mr. Folan for the work that she's putting in. Great job. I love the effort. I love the stuff you're doing online. And it just seems like every day you get better. You're an amazing teacher, and we're so honored and proud to have you here. So great job, Mrs. Daypose. You got a kudos for your hard work too. All right, I will go through just a few more of these. We're going to go through these students from Mrs. Florence's class. So we've got these kiddos got shout outs for passing Lexia levels, Riley and Sanyog. We've got these kiddos got 90% or higher on their extra math activity. That's Adele, Honesty, Elena, Evie, Layla, and Sanyog. And finally, Layla, Sanyog, and Adele, you got shout outs. All of you sent Mrs. Florence a commercial about the business you created during your goods and services lessons, and you got recognized for that. So way to go to you guys. And our last shout outs for today go to Finn and Morgan in Mrs. Drum's class for passing Lexia levels. So we knocked out all of those. Wow, that was quite a few to get through today. I have to highlight those so I don't mess it up and say them all again tomorrow. All right, boys and girls, you did awesome. Great job to all of our students and our teachers for all of the amazing work you're doing and the recognition that you're getting. Very proud of you and can't wait to see what comes next. All right. Any other notes or anything? I can't see Mr. Fullen. Oh, wait, that's right. He's still working on some other stuff for us. So he's not here today, but I'm here and I'm happy and I think we're doing a great job. So let's do our pledges now, boys and girls. Please stand with me. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance and our Pioneer Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I choose to respect myself and others by listening and following adult directions, speaking appropriately, keeping hands, feet, and objects to myself, walking at home, being prepared to learn. This is who I am, even when no one is watching me.
All right, great job on the pledges, boys and girls. Another awesome day of announcements. I mean, I think I did awesome. I don't know about you. No, I'm just teasing. I did my very best, I promise. But all right, I think that's it for today. Boys and girls, just keep it up. Keep up that great work. We're so proud of you and the things that you're doing. Just don't quit. Don't stop giving that effort, baby. That's the key. Just keep that effort going strong. Just think, we're really pretty close to being done for the rest of the school year, and then you get to relax for an entire summer. So don't give up yet. We got a little bit more to do, and I know you can do a great job and finish strong. Think that's it. Oh yeah, one more thing. Keep repping that Pioneer pride.
Gotta show our pride, showing effort cause we tried. Positive attitude, show respect cause we're not rude. We got integrity, doing good that you will see. Determined to be nice, yeah, that's how we live our lives.
Got that Pioneer pride. Rep that Pioneer pride. Got that Pioneer pride. Rep that Pioneer pride.